Hey guys, this is BNSF 9370. I'll give you a layout update. I haven't done one in a really long time, so this may take a little bit of time to get through, but let's go ahead and get started. I believe on my last video I didn't have all of these outside tracks here laid. From left to right you got your service engine, an arrival departure, main line 1 and 2. And going on down the line here, I've got the runaround. I've got the yard lead, which that's where all these coal cars are on right now, are on the yard lead. And then to the right there's an auxiliary track and a caboose staging track there. And I've laid the yard body, which is 7 tracks, and you can get about 25 on the furthest one, about 35 cars, just your standard coal hoppers on those tracks. I've also installed a service road in my yard, just using Smooth It and top coat black for the asphalt top coat, and I've also added this yard tower here. I actually chose this because I got this kit over here. It's made by Alpine Division. This thing is not my type of model. It's like stick built and my fingers are just way too big for that. I wouldn't recommend it if you don't have patience and if you have big hands. So I went with this Walthers, the PRR block and interlock station. I'm using that for my yard tower, and I've also created the concrete pad that it's sitting on with a piece of styrofoam and just used concrete paint, and I custom built the little stairs here, and I also got a couple little sheds that aren't placed yet, and this little tool shed, same thing with this one, and this little office that isn't set yet. Those little 3 there are made by Pike Stuff, which is a awesome model. I highly recommend it for anybody out there looking for an easy but good looking model. And also I've added this cell phone tower. This is by BLMA, and it only comes to about a 6-foot pole on it, or 6-inch pole, and that's just didn't look very realistic, so I bought this piece of tubing and made it longer, and I put a little concrete bottom to it, and it looks really good. That'll be my transmission tower for the yard. And then also I have my diesel engine house set in place and tracks going into it. I used this 3-way medium switch by Pico, SL99 I believe. It's an awesome space saver if space is an issue. It's a little pricey, but it was well worth it considering the amount of space that I had to work with, because I still have to get a road down through here, so it really helped on space. And while I'm over here, I will go ahead and run these coal cars back into the classification yard. Right now they're being powered by 2 INRD SD90 Max. Be pushing them back into the yard. And what it's doing there is it crosses the service engine line, and then it heads down into the yard body in itself. And I've got the switches lined so that it'll go to the outside most track. So it's coming around the yard lead right now, and you can see that obviously you don't need 2 SD90s to push this. I've actually got a BNSF GP38-2 ordered, and it should push it fine. I've got a GP9 that pushes it just fine, no problem. But as you can see, I've got 25 cars there that it's just gonna shove down into the classification yard there, and that's about the most you can stick in there. And as you can see, these are they all just continue till they dead end down here at this end of the yard. And also, while we're here, I've got light fixtures hung full length of the table, so I got 32 feet of light fixtures now, so we got a lot better lighting, can see a lot better. I've also put an elevated floor where you stand in here so it's easily access anything on the layout itself. And then on this end down here, I haven't had any track laid here yet, but this is going to be where the fuel pads are. I got some fuel cranes here, a sanding tower. None of this is set. It's just on a little concrete pad that I made. I'll have the fuel storage tank. This is actually an old Walther's kit. It's that one right there. So that'll look good there. And then I've got a small diesel engine house that I'm actually going to put down there, so it'll come off an auxiliary line, and I have a little diesel engine house down there for the yard engines. And I don't have any of the DCC hooked up yet. That was just regular DC. And I'm gonna come over here and show you the two bridge signals that I'll be putting in, one on each end of the yard. These are by BLMA. It's a cantilevered bridge signal with working LEDs. I got a left hand and a right hand. Will be one at each end of the yard for the signals. And on this end of the yard, I got another one of those three-way pico switches, which will bring all three of these diesel service lines into one. And around this corner, I'll have this curved switch here, which you can come off the main to the service engine, and then on this most inside, it will follow this coal cars here over to the fuel pads. So that's how you would access the fuel pads without interfering with anything in the yard over on this end. So just let me know what you guys think. I'm getting ready to lay ballast. I've never done it before, so if somebody can let me know the best techniques on doing that, I would really appreciate it. It's better than going into it blind and not knowing what I'm doing. I would appreciate it. So yeah, just let me know what you guys think.